Hi guys, I'm Andy Wysick with Cook Inlet Aquaculture, and I'm all dressed to go out in the field so I can show you guys how to prepare for the summer a little bit. Keep in mind that we will be providing personal flotation devices as well as waders, so you don't have to worry about packing that stuff, but you will be responsible for your field clothing, and it's always good to have backup field gear in case your stuff gets wet and it takes a couple days to dry. So you can see I'm pretty bundled up right now. Actually, this is not overkill. I usually wear all of this stuff in the field, and sometimes I even add a layer that I have in my pack. Many of the summer positions are at night, and so it is quite cold at night. Some nights it can approach 30 degrees. So even on hot days, you're going to be working near cold water, and you may get cold. So you can see here I have my flotation device on. Once again, we'll be providing that for you. A good raincoat on here. We also do usually have rain bibs, but since I'm heading out to the field, I have my waders on and I don't need my rain bibs. So these waders are breathable, so I don't cook all day. So I do rely on them to keep me dry, but I don't worry about them so much for insulation. My insulation layers are underneath. In my pocket of my bibs, carry my pocket knife. I always have a pocket knife. I recommend everybody brings a nice pocket knife with them. So you'll also notice that all my clothing is synthetic material. It wicks moisture away from me, tends to insulate even though it's wet, and if it does get a little wet, it tends to dry really quick. So that's usually what we're wearing into the field. I have an Under Armour thermal layer. Another synthetic layer. It's really comfortable puffy material with a hood on it. Helps keep warm. A long sleeve synthetic material that wicks moisture away from me. And then on the bottom here, I wear fleece lined synthetic material pants. These pants are lightweight enough that they can fit underneath my waders, but they're also fleece lined so they keep me really warm. And then a good pair of socks. And you can see I usually pull my socks up over my pants to keep my pants down into my waders. So it's good to have a big pair of socks. So guys, I'm pretty warm-blooded. I don't wear thermals underneath my waders, but that's something some people would prefer to do. I'm plenty warm with these fleece pants and this layer. Alright guys, so we talked about the synthetic layers you want to bring and how that wicking stuff and quick drying stuff is going to help you when you're out in the field. But there's one other thing, and that's, it's actually two other things. While you're at camp, you're going to want something comfortable to wear around. Emily mentioned having camp shoes. Also having like a nice pair of sweatpants and just something to lay around camp is a good idea. In addition to that, you're also going to want to have something you can work in the woods and maybe do some minor construction in without getting holes in your synthetic material. And so it's a good idea to have a set of Carhartts and maybe a work sweatshirt and maybe an alternative outer jacket for doing that. So when you're in the woods, you're scraping on thorns, you're working with wood, and you're scraping on wood, you have those layers to work in. In addition to that, it's also good to have those layers be of a cotton type or a wool type, natural fiber, and that's because we do fly out to a lot of our camps, and you don't really want to wear synthetic fibers when you're on a plane. If there's any sort of fire or anything like that, synthetic clothes tend to become shrink wrap, whereas natural fibers, wool, cotton, do not shrink onto you and restrict your movement or breathing in any way.